Charlie and Golden Eggflower will lead them away. And we get underway. 5 red lights ahead of the drivers of the Portuguese Grand Prix. Lights out, and we are underway. It's a good getaway from SLR Charlie on the left. Here comes that guy looking to the outside, going down to turn 1, trying to take it 3 abreast. And there goes Golden Eggflower on the inside, but holds on to second place for the time being as that guy goes wide. We've got a collision in the back, and that's Alpi and Xhaka who have made contact going into turn 1. And that aggressive strategy we were talking about on the soft tyres for Alpi hasn't really paid off to start with.
Another crash.
Another crash.
Golden Eggflower and that guy as well.
Oh no! And 2 of the drivers up front, Golden Eggflower and that guy who got another incident. That's Gregors who's just spun out there. Many mistakes we've made here on the start. SLR Charlie, this is just the start he would have wanted. He's gotten away very well here. Already pulling out half a second of active JMC, who has, I'm assuming, is loving this situation he's just been placed in. He's up into second place. SLR Leah now in third. Matt Silver up to fourth. SLR Jack in fifth place. Chicken Rosary got past Simon 37 at the start. He runs sixth. Drastic Blaze in 8th. Fatal Nation 9th. And Dimply Hornet now rounds at your top 10 as we get this one underway.
Indeed, what a start it was from Chicken Rosary, gaining 6 positions already. So a fantastic start from the Ferrari driver, as Simon 37M has just got past him down the inside on those mediums, up into P6. The Ferrari driver is going to look to fight it back. Slight contact, but Simon, the championship leader, now already up into P6 from 11th.
Great start then from the championship leader, Aston Martin. Personally, I reckon it's used that 37 on the car. Well, that's just me. Charlie over the line then to complete the first lap of the race, 1 minute 22.5 as Activate JMC runs in second place and SLR Leah in third. SLR Evo now making his way into pits. I'm assuming, Alpi stays out, so don't look like he or Jacques picked up damage at turn 1. Gregor's now up into 17th, and in comes the Williams. That guy getting hit with 2 penalties in 1 lap, so if I'm not mistaken, he has 6 seconds to his name already. Yeah, not the best starts. That guy who went for a move around the outside going into that first corner, just on the start down that main straight, but things didn't quite pay off for him there as SLR even goes into the hard tyres. I'm assuming he'll want to take those as long as he can. Dimply Hornet battling SSR Halo here for the last spot in the top 10, the final points paying position in tonight's Grand Prix. Dimply Hornet getting the edge on this occasion.
Oh, and Fatal Nation, that was very close.
Very squirrely there on the exit at turn 8, and Dimply Hornet should be all over him here in the race for P9 now. The McLaren trying to make up places, looking around the outside and could try and go for a switchback, but not close enough. And it's at this point in the race up front where things start to get a little bit trickier for SLR Charlie, because when they cross the line, the DRS will be enabled, and that could be crucial because the DRS train is deadly in some of these tracks, and I think Portugal might be no different.
Yeah, I completely agree. Down that main straight, it is absolutely, we saw it last night, it was very, very good. And then obviously getting DRS after turn 4, going into the hairpin of turn 5, so we'll see who he's going to get in. Leah is right on the back of Active JMC now, so he might be able to get his way up to P2. Yep,
the AlphaTauri now right up the chuff of the Alpine here, who's gone a little bit deep on the exit of turn number 3, and Leah's going to have the DRS to his advantage as Active JMC goes wide on the run down towards turn number 5. Here they come down towards the hairpin. Leah on the inside, he gets to the edge and he's underneath the Alpine, and that might be enough as JMC goes way wide there. Not quite sure what's going on with him. Matt Silver's watching this play out. He's got a front row seat for it. He must be loving it. I'm sure he likes getting the action himself. Here they come now through turn number 8. These guys are looking for no mistakes. That's Leah getting away and now has to start chasing down that 1.3 second gap. It's currently held by SLR Charlie, who's already out of DRS range, so things are doing very well for him so far.
Ooh, and Fatal Nation once again having trouble out the exit turn 8, and Dimply Hornet's now right on the back of him, going down the inside into turn 10. There's contact between the two, and the car driver just forces his way through there, but I think Fatal Nation might fight this one back.
He's going to try and go for it on the inside, goes very audacious on the brakes, making his way through here as they come towards the penultimate corner on the circuit. I think Dimply Hornet might have the edge on this occasion, but Fatal Nation could try a switchback, but not close enough once again, so things aren't looking too good for him in the race for P9, but he's got that DRS to make sure he's down the main straight, and Drastic Blaze and Chicken Rosary will be going at it in front of them as the championship leader Simon is the fastest up of the race there, 1 minute 20.05. Here comes the Mercedes driver down that main straight. He should breeze past the McLaren into that first corner, and just in front of them in the race for the 7th spot. Drastic Blaze has just taken away P7 from Chicken Rosary in the Ferrari, so DRS already coming into good use for a lot of these drivers as Chicken Rosary looks to try and get that position back from the Alpine, because there's been a second lap in a row which an Alpine gets past down in towards turn number 5. But Drastic Blaze defends the inside, forces Chicken Rosary the long way round, going into turn 5 and off with the hairpin, and back up the hill they come for turn 6. It's still Drastic Blaze in P7. And that's Dimply Hornet and Jacko that's Dimply Hornet and McLaren, who now falls down to P17 What happened there?
That guy sent it going down the inside of the hairpin at turn 5. We've got someone else's off as well. I think that's what is that?
That's Chicken Rosary in the Ferrari. He's dropped back down to P14 now.
That guy sent it on Dimpy Hornet going into the hairpin and just contacts and Dimpy Hornet losing it on the exit, and that's now him down to 17th. This Skull Killer's gone round as well in the other McLaren.
Things are going from bad to worse for McLaren as of right now. Their driver's now down to P16 and P17, and around go Golden Egg Fryer and that guy, and they make contact for the second time in this race. That guy's out of the race. Golden Egg Fryer continuing on. Contact there at the penultimate corner between the Mercedes and the Red Bull. That's the second time within 4 laps that those two have made contact. Not what you want to see. So we have our first retiree of the night, and it's that guy in the Red Bull.
It's a shame for the Red Bull driver. Had a pretty bad start after, I think, contact at the start. And then Gregors as well, we saw spinning after making a very good start. Now down to 13th. But yeah, first retiree of the race. We've got an egg fry and that guy coming together. It's a shame to see. But now the biggest winner in the race so far is Alpe. After starting 18th, is now into the points claim positions.
They're definitely doing great stuff there on those stuff. Despite the incident at turn 1, himself and Jacka, who of course were involved in that incident, have actually made up really some decent places thanks to just avoiding all these incidents that have gone on so far. I'm keeping my eye right now on the battle for the top spot between Leia and Charlie as we make our way through the penultimate corner here. He will need the DRS to his advantage now. He may use the DRS as well. He's got about 70% left in the battery as Drastic Blaze makes a move on Fatal Nation, and SLR Halo gets through as well. Fatal Nation is slowing up. He's in the gravel. He's gone wide there. Not quite sure what's happened. Regardless, still keeping on this battle for the top spot. No ERS being used as of right now for Lear, but he's still closing in regardless. The gap about 3/10 to make the way into turn 1. So SLR Charlie holds on to the top spot for the time being.
And Active JMC has now lost DRS, I believe, to SLR Lear, so this might give Matt Silver maybe a podium position now as they go through turn 4.
Active JMC, of course, ran wide the last time he had a battle going down to turn 5, and I doubt he'll be doing that again. Matt Silver already on his inside into the left-hander. Great stuff there from the Alfa Romeo, who's gone way wide himself. And Active JMC takes advantage of that, goes back up the inside, and that's P3 secure once again for the Alpine driver.
The stars that Matt Silver went a bit deep, because he was able to get the Alfa Romeo back into P3 now and looking to get back within the DRS of the top 2, and Leah is still closing to the leader, SLR Charlie. Continuing
to harass the back of that Aston Martin machine, which continues to show the way here on lap number 6. Still closing the gap around half a second, and it was closer this time than it was on the last lap. So I have to see what goes down this main straight. Active JMC with a front row seat for this battle is about a second in front of him. He's not going to have DRS. He's going to miss out on that just about by around 800ths or so, or just about a 10th. SLR Charlie moving to the right, trying to break the toe. Leah follows him through. Down the main straight they come. The AlphaTauri on the chase here. On the inside, going down into us that first corner. SLR Leia takes the lead away from SLR Charlie, but Leia goes wide and Charlie goes back up the inside. And that is the Aston Martin back in the top spot, back in the driving seat. And now out front once again, but it's not over yet because the DRS is coming in once more for the AlphaTauri.
Oh, Jack's around.
Jack's around. Got himself going again. Matt Silver battling Active JMC once again. Does Matt Silver go wide this time? Again he does. And there goes JMC back up the inside. And that's P3 once again for the Alpine. I'm getting deja vu here.
Oh, Alpe, after such a good start in the Williams, has gone off at turn 4. And he's dropping position like flies now. Oh, he's nearly lost it again. And I think he might have damaged that front wing as well.
I have to see here. I think he might be okay by the looks of it. He's got no end plate damage, so that's good on that front. It looks like he's just getting some back up to speed again, but very unfortunate for Alpe, who of course is doing such a good job on those, when the only driver outside of the top 10 to start on soft tyres. I mean, talking to the medium runners, keeping an eye on Simon here in 5th place, who's chasing Matt Silver and Active JMC in the race for that last spot on the rostrum. He's running the highest on those medium tyres, so he's in a good position for the rest of the Grand Prix by the looks of things. Keeping an eye now on the race between Leah and Charlie once again. I doubt that Leah will take the lead this time. Drastic Blaze passing Jack now as they make their way to the last corner. Here comes Leah, putting himself in a good position for when the DRS gets enabled once again out of turn 4. Still chasing that Aston Martin fruitlessly at this point. Unable to take the lead and hold on to it, because he took the lead briefly on the last lap on the DRS now. As they make their way towards turn 5, Charlie definitely got a poor exit out of that last corner. Leia could take advantage of that. Up the inside it goes. They go side by side into the hairpin. and it does look like Leia's going to have the advantage for the time being, but if Charlie gets good traction here, he could take advantage. He doesn't, and SLR Leia now taking the lead of the Portuguese Grand Prix, but Charlie will be all over him, looking to try and find an opening to try and take that top spot back.
Fantastic start from SLR Leia, then 8 laps in, he's already into the lead of the Grand Prix. He's going to be loving that. He's the AlphaTauri driver, and Matt Silver actually closing up on Active GMC now. He is now back within DRS of this battle. We did see SLR Jack coming to the pit lane. He started losing positions as he hit the back of one of the cars he was fighting with. Not sure who it was, but that might be Jack's race over unless there's a safety car. But JMC's now catching up to Charlie as well, so we might have a 4, maybe even 5-way battle as Simon is still in this battle from the Aston Martin for the lead.
Shaping up to be a very exciting, very tasty battle for that top spot, and we'll be keeping an eye on things as it goes on. SR Charlie just under half a second behind here as they can make their way down the main straight to begin the 9th lap of this 33-lap Grand Prix. SLR Leia sits the fastest lap there. That'll be 1 extra point provided that he finishes inside the top 10. Here comes Charlie Choke closing in towards turn number 1 once more. He's now chasing that AlphaTauri. He's had the best of both worlds. He's led the way, and now he's in that chasing position. He's going to the DRS down towards turn 5, so could he take revenge and make the pass in the same place where he got past for that top spot? Active GMC gets hit with a time penalty for multiple warnings behind them. Matt Silver looking to try and take advantage, going down into that left-hander, doesn't have enough, chooses to back out. Active GMC wants a little bit wider off his line there, but that means that he'll be still staying in front of Matt Silver regardless. But still, things are lined up to still continue on. Although Active GMC almost out of DRS range, the gap is 7, just under 8 tenths here in the race for that second spot. Alpine now with a time penalty, yellow flag in sector 1. That's one of the Mercedes cars. It's Golden Egg Fryer, who starts on the front row around once again. Things going from bad to worse here for him, of course. Contact with that guy earlier on in the Grand Prix. Things are just falling apart for the Mercedes driver right now after things look so good in qualifying for him.
Yes, they are, unfortunately, for the both Mercedes drivers. They're down at the back, and it looks like Simon is now within 3/10 of a second, shall I say, of Matt Silver. So he might maybe be looking for a move going up into P4 now. The mediums tyres might be coming into play now for Simon.
DRS open and DRS now deployed to make their way down the main straight towards turn 1. Matt Silver also has DRS. I'm not sure if he's using his battery. And when there's contact between them, and there goes Matt Silver. Where is he? Is he still on the track? He's safe.
Yes.
What on earth happened there? And around goes Active GMC in front of them. The Alpine off into the gravel, and out of the running for the top spot now. Hasn't lost any places then, and come back on the track in front of SLR Halo and Drastic Blaze. That was extremely dangerous, and there's contact between Drastic Blaze and Halo as well. Things are falling apart here as SLR Leia now gets hit with a time penalty, and Simon up into 3rd place now.
Halo's going to send it. Yes, he is. He's going to go down the inside of Drastic Blaze. Into the hairpin they go.
Great stuff there, but Blaze a good exit there off of turn number 5 through turn 6. They come into the double right of 7 and 8, and there goes Blaze at the inside. It looks like he'll have it for the time being. SR Halo could try and make a move on the exit, but has to fall back into line there. He's got to keep an eye out because Active JMC, the teammate of the of Drastic Blaze, is currently right behind them. So Halo stuck in an Alpine sandwich as of right now, as we had a time penalty through there. I'm not quite sure who that was for. I believe that. Did you get who that was for? I'm not entirely sure.
I think it was Fatal Nation at the back, who's just got a penalty. Simon's only just got within DRS now of Charlie. He has to use quite a bit of his DRS to catch back up, and he's pulled the gap to Matt Silver a bit now. So Simon might be back in the battle for the lead, but Charlie's now closing back up to Leia, and with that penalty for Leia, it's going to hurt him even more in this race.
Definitely, right. We'll keep an eye on this battle between Leia and Charlie. They run a little bit wide there out of that first corner, going into turn 2 as Halo makes his way into the pits for his first stop at the Grand Prix. Let's see what tyres he goes on to. Regardless of keeping on this battle up front, Leia got good enough exit out of turn 3 and decent run through turn 4. I doubt it'll have any impact on Charlie's trying to take the top spot. Active JMC though has made the pass, he's gone past SL Halo because he went into the pits. So things are looking good for JMC right now. Trying to make his way back inside the top 5, running just behind his teammate Drastic Blaze.
Indeed he is, so it's a good day for Alpine at the moment, good day for Ferrari Connor, 7th and 8th, but if you're an Aston Martin driver, Charlie and Simon, you're having the time of your life in P2 and P3, and after penalties, it is going to be a 1 and 2 for Aston Martin as it stands. So a long way to go.
Dominance continues for Aston Martin, the Constructors' Championship. We already have a solid lead over Alfa Romeo. Whilst one of their drivers running just behind them, that's Matt Silver. SSR Halo now down in 13th after that stop onto a set of medium tyres. So I'll be thinking could he try and push those to the end, or will he have to make another stop, do you reckon?
We'll have to see. It might be pretty close, and what is going to be close as well is Charlie and Simon are going to be battling going down into turn 1 with 2 teammates.
Yeah, they come now. Simon, the championship leader, out to the left-hand side, going into that first corner, and he should have it for the time being. There he goes around the outside. SLR Charlie's lead left in the dust just like that. So very unfortunate for him, but he's got to try and find his way back. And will he try and battle his teammate down in towards turn number 5? That's the main question. Keeping an eye on Matt Silver, who doesn't have DRS, but he's not too far behind, so any aftermath he could take advantage of. He's now just about within a second, but still no DRS in that front. Yellow flag in sector 1, and that's the Alpine of Drastic Blaze, who spun out.
Gregor's just about to avoid him there.
Turn 1 turning into a hellhole for the Alpine drivers. Both their drivers have now spun out at that same turn. Dimbley Hornet gets hit with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That'll be his first 3 seconds of the evening. SLR Leia still holding on to that half-second lead over the championship leader now, who'll be trying to take that top spot away. Into turn number 10 they go. Out of sector 2.
And Leah hold on then, going down into turn 1, we'll see the gap is closing, so the medium compound tyre is definitely the quicker tyre to be on at the moment. For Simon, as the softs do start to reach the end of their life, so I do wonder, are any of the remaining soft runners on track that come in, and it would probably be a good choice for Leah to come in this lap, to try and undercut the cars behind him, and who's actually gone off a fatal nation at turn 1 again.
It does look like Leia will be coming to the pits. In he comes, and that means the championship leader, Simon 37M, takes over the race lead and sets the fastest lap in the process there. Matt Silver stays out, while Leia and Charlie make their way into the pits. So a bit of differing strategy for the runs on the soft tyres. Matt Silver might go a lap or two more by the looks of things. He'll be chasing Simon 37, which would be a futile activity at this point because of the fact that he's out of DRS range. Active James Dean back into 3rd place because he's also yet to stop. Gregor's UK still on those soft tyres, as is Golden Egg Fryer. So we've still got 4 runners on the softs here as both Leia and Charlie go onto those mediums.
Indeed, so that's the first pit stops for some drivers out the way then, and I do wonder how much time is Leah and Charlie going to gain on the cars in front of them. Crucially, Leah has come out ahead of his teammate Xhaka and can maybe have a team game down at Alpha Tower, because if Xhaka can hold up Charlie, this might help Leah with, especially with the penalty later on in this race.
Jack will be looking to become the next Red Bull Minister of Defence if he can. If Charlie closes in enough for him to really have to do that job. But as of right now, Leah's in a decent position. Of course, trying to increase that gap over the Aston Martin. Also trying to close in on Drastic Blaze in the process. Which is a little bit scurry there on the exit of turn 8. Managed to hold on to things. So nice and easy on that front.
Indeed it is, the gap's closing between Xhaka and Charlie, but I think it might be Charles' play for Xhaka. He goes round! He's hit the wall!
It hits the wall. He has damaged the front wing. I believe he's lost his right end plate. Keeps going. Matt Silver now into the pits. He's making his first stop of the race. And I'm assuming Xhaka will need to make his first stop now. And to be honest, it does feel like he may be in a bit of a snooker position here, because he's on a set of medium tyres, so he can't. If he goes on to another set of mediums now, he'll have to hit to get to the end of the race to go onto a different set. He can't go into a set of soft tyres, because I doubt that, because those will not last the entire way unless he becomes a god at tyre management, and the hard tyres will be slower. So poor position for him to be in on making a front wing change here. I have no doubt. As actually James C making his way out of the pits on that fresh set of medium tyres, falling down to P13 here, just behind SLR Jack.
Quite a bit of time. Leah's just getting in position on Drastic Blaze as well. He's made a mistake going down to turn 1. That's Leah now back up into P4 on track, and he has now once again got a car separating him and SLR Charlie, which might be crucial in this race as Active JMC picks up another penalty. He's not having a good time with track limits at all.
Definitely not, of course. Portimao is brutal on those track limits, so I'm not surprised to see a lot of those being picked up so far. But yeah, and as I say that, Skullcurly also gets hit with a penalty as well. That's in 3 seconds for multiple warnings. The next target for SLR Leo is the last soft runner in front of him, and that is Gregor's UK in the Ferrari. He's got his teammate Chicken Rogers in front of him, Simon 37 has a massive lead there, about 21 seconds in the Aston Martin. Of course, he's going to have to take a stop at some point, but we'll have to see what tyres he goes onto. If he can take those to around lap 21, 22, I doubt he can, to be honest. I mean, I'm not sure what he's like for time management, but he could potentially go onto a set of soft tyres on his first stop and take those to the end. As Gregor's UK calls it quits on those soft tyres, enters the pits, and SLR Leo sets the fastest lap there as he moves backwards to the podium places. Drastic Blaze up to 4th, and there goes SLR Charlie though in towards turn number 1, getting the job done on the Alpine, and will now start to chase Leia, who of course has a 2-second advantage.
So yeah, crucially, Simon, with no penalties, has a virtually a 23 second gap to Leia, and he is going to be a rapid Aston Martin at the end if he's going to go into those soft compound tyres. Presumably he will. We saw DVT Paul last night being a rocket in that Alpine on the fresh soft, so we'll see what Simon can do later on in the race when he comes in, which should be in around 5-6 laps times, I think.
Yeah, Yeah, sounds very good. But as of right now, he'll want to hold on to that top spot and just try and build that advantage, which currently stands at just under 22 seconds. The official gap being around 21.7 at the time being over the Ferrari of Chicken Rosary, who now has a rear view mirror full of the AlphaTauri of our net race leader, SLR, making his way through sector number 3 now. SLR Jack gets hit with a time penalty for multiple warnings. Have a look at the penalties here. So as of right now, the most penalties goes to Fatal Nation, who has 16 seconds worth, followed close back to JMC, who has 9 seconds worth.
So yeah, they are struggling with track limits. It does look like Leo might get Chicken Rosy. Chicken Rosy does come into the pit lane. Matt Silver is closing up on SLR Charlie as well, so this could be Matt Silver potentially trying to take net P2 in this race.
You never know. I mean, these battles for the top spot have been very exciting so far in this Grand Prix. I wouldn't be surprised if they'll continue on. I mean, as of right now, Leo's still got that penalty to worry about, so SLR Charlie's in a good position in a way that he's technically in that net P1 himself. Matt Silver is closing on him. He'll be the main priority. He'll want to keep the Alfa Romeo behind, because Alfa Romeo are trying to close on Aston Martin in the Constructors' Championship, and they'll be looking to potentially score some more points. Matt Silver right there in 4th, and SSR Halo with a bit of quite risk for running back in that 8th spot.
It is, see Active JMC closing up on Halo, but I don't think he's going to be close enough to go for the move though. But as I said, Matt Silver still closing up on Charlie here, so this might be a really good battle as we go at the halfway point we will do when we cross the line. Simon still leads them by 22 seconds, obviously yet to come into the pit lane. Leah still leads, and the gap is 1.9 seconds, so if he can find another second or so, then he might be in a good place to still try and win this race.
Alright, we'll keep an eye on this battle between Charlie and Matt Silver down when they come to this main straight. Of course, if the last time Matt Silver fought to Aston Martin's racing and to go by, he'll be heading for the wall, as it looks like Fatal Nation has gone off once again at the exit turn number 4. The DRS open now for Alfa Romeo to make their way down the main straight at the end of the 17th lap of the 33 to make up this race. Back towards turn 1, the gap now within half a second to that first corner. Matt Silver a little bit sprayed there out of turn 1, but all okay on that front. Into turn 3 now, the right-hander. Back up the hill they come now for turn 4. The gap, half a second. He's going to have that DRS to his advantage. He's got about double DRS the ERS that Charlie does. As Alpe passes Chicken Rosary back there for the 11th spot. Chicken Rosary now onto a set of soft tyres.
It was Active JMC and SLR Halo having a nice battle going towards turn 5 now. Can the Alpine driver make it work? He'll pull to the left, go down the inside.
Great stuff on the brakes there. And he really sits on the chicane there, sits on the corner there to allow himself to not go wide and take that position. It's a really great move there from Active JMC into turn number 5. He runs in 8th place and kind of close now on the McLaren and Skulker to get back into the DRS range of the driver in 7th place. He's doing that very quickly. The gap now 1.1 seconds.
Indeed, it is the battle we've been talking about though for the past few laps. Once again, Matt Silver versus SLR Charlie. Battle for P3.
Yellow
Can he
flag
make it work this time? He's off at turn 4. But can Matt Silver make it work? Gap is closing. He's used a bit of his battery, but I don't think he's going to close up enough, but we'll see.
I don't think it'll be enough for him. He'll have to go very late on the brakes in turn 1. I'm trying not to leave him a lot of room. I think he might as well line up for exit turn 4 as Fatal Nation retires in the pits. So that's our second runner we've lost tonight. Drastic Ways gets hit with a penalty for multiple warnings. Poor exit from Matt Silver there, so he won't get the momentum he needs to really go for that move into turn 5, even with the DRS. The gap between Leo and Charlie, 1.4 seconds now, so the Aston Martin closing in bit by bit. Whereas UK passes his teammate Chicken Rosary in the race for the top spot.
Indeed, it is Matt Silver maybe pushing SLR Charlie along here instead of maybe losing him time. So Leo will not be liking that at all. We said the gap around 1.3, 1.2 seconds. So if Charlie can keep up this pace, then he might be able to get back within DRS. I think he doesn't need to overtake him because of penalties, but I'm sure it would feel a lot nicer if he could take the victory on track.
Definitely. Right then, here we go once again. The third round of this battle down the main straight will be coming in just a moment as they make their way through the penultimate turn. Matt Silver going a bit wider there through that last corner. So he's lost a decent amount of time. The gap is still half a second. He's still within DRS range. And he might have a better chance this time as he closes that gap. He uses a bit of battery on the exit of the last corner. I think he might try and use it down this main straight. The DRS now open as well. He's going for the charge now. This is it. Third place now being occupied by the Alfa Romeo of Matt Silver on the race towards that first corner. He takes third place away and goes quite slow there through turn 1 to simply allow himself to make the turn. SLR Charlie right up the chuff of the Alfa Romeo all over his gearbox there. through turn 4. A decent exit from Charlie Collins to take the spot as actually JMC passes Skull Killer behind them in the race for 7th into turn number 1. And not enough for SLR Charlie, even with the DRS, to take away 3rd place from Matt Silva, who now occupies that last spot on the rostrum for the time being.
Indeed, he does. Skull Killer once again very close out to JMC, but will not be happy because Xhaka maybe got in his way a little bit there by the lap down, going through turn 2, so it's lost him a bit of time. That's now brought Halo and Jack into this battle now, and within DRS for the last point playing positions.
Alright, so keep an eye on this battle over the course of the next laps, because the 4-car race for P7 could get very interesting indeed. Drastic Blaze has already pulled away a decent amount. Wait, no, Blaze already there. What's happened?
Simon's got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. The race leader has came in. He's now got 5 seconds to add to his time at the end of the race.
Oh no, that's quite unfortunate there for Simon, who is on those. He's now into a set of soft tyres and will most likely lose the lead here to SLR. I mean, he might still hold on to it, but just about there down the main straight. It does look like the AlphaTauri will take the lead. Here he comes down towards that first corner, and there he goes back up into that top spot. Matt Silva now in 2nd, SLR Charlie in 3rd as Simon, the championship leader, rejoins the battle. He's got work to do here. He's got to warm up those soft tyres and get himself in the fight as quickly as he can. If he wants to win this race, he's got to pull out a 5-second advantage over everyone else, which he could theoretically do on those soft tyres, but there will come a point where they lose their snap. As SLR Halo passes Skull Killer down to turn 1, the McLaren driver losing place here and dropping down the order quickly. It's got SLR Jack behind him now in the race for P9. Keep an eye on this battle here. Skull Killer goes a bit deep through turn 3. Jack follows him though, and there goes Skull Killer getting a bit scrolly on the exit of turn 4. Yellow flag behind them, and that's the Aston Martin of SLR Xhaka.
Yes, it is. He has gone off at turn 4, so his day goes from bad to worse for Xhaka, and it kind of just sums up his race a little bit now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the race has gone far enough down the kitchen sink at this point. But speaking of kitchen sinks, Matt Silva wants to chuck his at SLR in the race for that top spot. We wanted to throw everything at the race leader in order to try and take the lead away. Of course, right now he leads the way thanks to that penalty. But of course, he wanted to win the race on track. As I say that, Leg gets hit with another time penalty there, so it's now 6 seconds. So it looks like we're finishing in 4th place if things stay the same. Jurassic Blaze is trying to close in, so that could change. It could be P5 coming in this one. But Matt Silva's already closing on the DRS here as we begin lap number 21. Just 13 more laps to go in this Portuguese Grand Prix. It could still go in anyone's way.
Indeed, I do wonder, are the 2 Aston Martin drivers going to work together, or are they both going to fight for position? Because obviously Charlie doesn't have a penalty, but Simon does, but he's on those fresh soft compound tyres, so maybe, I think Simon, if he got free air, as it does look like Charlie, is he going to let him through? Yes, he does.
Goes around the outside there. Great stuff there. Good teamwork there from SLR Charlie and Simon at 37M. So now again that charge towards the top 2. I mean, of course, as of right now, he officially runs in that 4th spot thanks to the penalty. Yellow flag there, and that's just that is just SLR Xhaka making his way into pit to retire from the Grand Prix. So down to 15 runners in this Portuguese Grand Prix as of right now. Matt Silva, the gap between him and SLR is 6/10 as it stands. It's 6/10 back to Simon. It's another 8 back to SLR Charlie. So definitely not over yet. 2 of these drivers have penalties, 2 of them don't. As of right now, Matt Silva officially shows the way. SLR leads the way on track. Here they come back down the main straight though. Simon, on those soft tyres, already gaining enough as SLR Jack gets hit with the penalty now. 3 seconds, multiple warnings down this main straight, using both ERS, DRS, and those fresher soft tyres for Simon, who is only just gaining on Matt Silva. A bit of contact there as they're going towards turn number 1. And I think that might be Matt Silva getting a little bit of payback for what happened earlier on in the Grand Prix. Of course, they made contact going into turn 1. One there both on that first stint as Drastic Blaze and Dipley Hornet make their way into pits for the first stop of the race. Respect for them going 21 laps each on those medium tyres. The focus is still on the race up front as Matt Silva tries to close back in on Simon's trying to take 2nd place back away from the Aston Martin, who now begin chasing the AlphaTauri of SLR for that top spot.
So yeah, it's a good day for the Aston Martin drivers at the moment. If Charlie could stay within 6 seconds of Lear and 5 seconds of his teammate, he might be one of them on the podium. As look at the exit Simon got out of turn 8, those fresh compound tyres of the softs coming in clutch for him there. And I definitely think if he can get through Leah on the main straight, he can maybe pull that 5 seconds with the fresh softs.
I didn't feel he could go for a move into turn 10 there, but thought better if it stayed in line. I think I'll probably go for that move down the main straight. These two have got pretty much exactly the same amount of ERS here, so that it's a level pegging field in that front, a level playing field, sorry. But of course, it's not level pegging in the way of DRS because Simon will have it, Leah will not. Down this main straight, here they come. This should be the definitive pass to the race. The change to the top spot. Both these two have penalties, and speaking of penalties, Chicken Rosary gets one. Simon on the inside takes the lead away from SLR. Now he's got work to do, so it's not over yet. He's got 10 laps to put a 5-second advantage and hold on to it. Of course, Leo was going to try to take the lead back. Goes very late on the brakes there into turn number 3. It didn't really pay off because he's lost even more time now. Simon very square in the exit of 4. It might not be over yet for Leo, who's still trying to close back in and try and just hold on to second place and try and take it back first into turn 5. Not close enough as Chicken Rosary goes back into the points after passing Skullkiller, who's now onto a set of soft tyres at the end of the race. With Chicken Rosary also on those soft tyres as well. Those are 6 laps old as it stands. Simon though on the charge here. The gap already around 6 or 7 tenths. So he's still got work to do. It's definitely not over yet. And as of right now, SLR Leia will be coming in second, will be coming in third, sorry. And Simon will be in fourth. And as of right now, the official race leader is Matt Silva in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, Matt Silva could still take this victory then, but Simon nearly has pulled a second to Leia. It's nearly 9/10 of a second to go around the penultimate corner. So if he gets a good exit here, he might be able to get it. 9/10, can he pull that second? It's going to be close.
I think Leia might just have the DRS here. Off the final corner, he doesn't.
So that's Simon surely gone then. So we'll see if he can pull that 4 seconds. But Matt Silva's now going to close it from P2 of SLR Leia.
Yeah, they come back towards that first corner again, lap number 24 of the Grand Prix. Matt Silva's going to be right on the chuff of the AlphaTauri as they make their way through turn 3. Went over the yellow sausage curve a bit there, going for that last corner. He's going to DRS though down this next straight in the hairpin towards turn number 5, but I doubt he's close enough to really go for that move. Will he try and take it? No, he won't. Stays in line for the time being. SLR Charlie falling back a little bit now. So things aren't looking good for him in the Aston Martin, but still P4 as of right now. The gap between Simon and Leah now 1.3 seconds. The gap between him and Matt Silva 1.5.
Indeed, he's still closing up. Leah's really struggling with the rear tyres, it looks like, out of turn 8 there, because Matt Silva's got a good exit and he's now 2.5 tenths. So realistically, this might be child's play going down the main straight for Matt Silva. He's going to get that DRS if he can stay within second. Can't get my words out there. As they go towards the penultimate corner soon.
Yeah, it's definitely not over yet in the race for that second spot on the track. Here we come now, making our way back down that main straight. So we go back up to the left now. ERS now being deployed. Overtake mode now on. DRS deployed down towards turn number 1. And as you say, it should be child's play for Matt Silva, who might still be side by side with Leah into turn 1. It's going to be tight. And Matt Silva just about gets the edge in the Alfa Romeo. But Leah's still right there and could go for on turn 3. Chooses not to. SLR Charlie, the pole sitter, trying to close back in. He's going to have DRS as well. Leah will also have the DRS. Matt Silva will not. But he's pulled out a decent advantage already. Speaking of advantages, Simon's pulled out a 2-second one over Matt Silva. So as of right now, he's got to take 3 more seconds in order to win this Grand Prix.
Indeed it is. Another driver who's on a really good recovery charge at the moment is Alpe. He's just got past SLR Jack now and up into P7 goes to Williams, and he's going to try and look to get past SSR Halo as well in P6 later on.
Decent stuff for Active GMC, who's been fighting back over the course of the race. Alpe running in, running in 7th, trying to close on SSR Halo. And stretching's definitely paid off for him on that front because he had a bit of a slower start to the race. But he's done some going again, he's inside the points, so things doing very well for Alpe as of right now.
Indeed it is. This 3-way battle for P2 then is still going to go on, and Leah's only just really within DRS and Matt Silva. It's about 9/10 of a second as they go around the penultimate corner. Should still get it, but Charlie will also get DRS on Leah as well. Battery wise they are around the same, so it should really be a level playing field as they go down to turn 1.
Leah on the DRS, closing back in on Matt Silva, who of course won't have any because Simon has now pulled out half of the gap he needs in order to win this thing. Lap 26 of the race gets underway. Leah through turns 1 and 2, closing back in. Doing a solid job as of right now. SLR Charlie now right with him as well. Yellow flag in sector 1, and that's Simon who's gone around. The race leader, who may have just seen his chance to win this thing, going out of the window. Matt Silva now in the lead.
I don't know how they avoided his car there on the exit of turn 4. That was so close and so unexpected to see him there. Well, it's pain for the race leader of Simon 37M, was looking to pull that 5-second gap and has unfortunately lost it out of turn 4. And as you said, Matt Silva now into the race leader. We have got a battle on our hands now for this race victory once again.
Well, in order for that battle to continue on for Leah, we need to stay within the DRS range. And right now it's not looking good. He's just about, only just in there at this point. 9/10, over 9/10 the advantage between the two leaders as of right now. SLR Charlie waiting to pounce just behind them here. We're keeping an eye on that advantage as we make our way to the penultimate corner. And I think SLR might just lose out on the DRS there. It's going to be tight. We'll have to see what it looks like. And he has DRS, so he stays in the race for that top spot. He's going to use it to try and use his advantage here. But SLR Charlie is closing in. Gap half a second between between second and third. So as of right now, Matt Silver's in a prime position to try and win this race. SLR has that penalty, of course. And SLR Charlie is currently stuck behind that AlphaTauri as he has been since that first pit stop.
Indeed, he has. Another driver who said he was making progress was Alpe, who's now within a second of SSR Halo. He's now came into the pit lane, so he didn't think he can get to the end on those softs. Now Alpe has made his way up to 6th place and pulling SLR Jack along with him.
Great stuff there for Alpe, who definitely delivering a commanding performance despite not being in the race for the top spot. Still doing a great job here, and definitely a contender for driver of the day in my eyes.
Completely agree. Gained 12 positions so far, as you said. Not long to go in the race. If he can keep this up, and he is actually catching up to GMC, and I think he might actually get him on penalties anyway. We'll see, but we'll see what his progress later on in the race. But the battle for the lead still continues between Matt Silver, SLR Leah, and SLR Charlie.
Yeah, it's definitely not over yet with 6 laps to go over here in Portimao. It's been an exciting race so far today, and Matt Silver's in prime position to win it. He looks like the favourite. I mean, he had a decent qualifying, and that performance has only been exceeded going into the race as he finds himself in a position where he can take the top spot and take all 25 points in the victory today. SLR Lelo closing back in down that main straight. He's got nothing to lose essentially. He's got 6-second penalties, so he will most likely finish down in 3rd place. Yellow flag there. That's the McLaren Skull Killer there. He's dropped back. He's spun out at turn 8. Regardless, so we keep focusing on this race for the lead. The gap's still half a second. They've all got about the same amount of ERS. They've all been using it around the same amount. They've all got around 10% left. So Matt Silver, though, in great position to win this thing. SLR Charlie, all he's got to do is get around Leon and have a good chance of taking the race victory, because he's been strong throughout the race here and throughout qualifying as well. And it's no surprise he's running up there in the top 3 and most likely finish second. But the performance is really deserving of this victory.
It definitely is, but Matt Silver is going to really need to try and help himself a bit, because he's going to need to be doing some fuel saving in the final few laps, because I can see that fuel light is now on in the Alfa Romeo, so he's going to have to start lifting and coasting. He wants to make it to the end of the race.
Things may not be looking as rosy for Matt Silver as he may have thought. He's got to hold onto that fuel for the next 5 laps. He's also got to hold on against the charging SLR Leo and SLR Charlie behind him, so he's in a situation he probably doesn't want to be in as he begins these final 5 laps of the race. SLR Leo closing back in on the DRS now. Back towards that first corner, the gap 4/10. Now 3. Now just about within 2, almost within 2, not quite. But that could change to go down towards turn number 5. Through turn 3, they've got a couple more corners to go before we reach that. Top 3 running nose to tail here as they exit turn 4. Matt Silver with a good exit. SLR Charlie still right there with Leo to make their way down towards the hairpin. It shouldn't be enough to really go for a move. SLR Leo going a bit later on the brakes now to try and hold on to things.
We might have a change for P10 going down the main straight here between Dimply Hornet and Drastic Blaze for the final points playing position.
Here they come now. Dimply Hornet on the DRS in towards that first corner and gets the job done on the Alpine that runs wide in the process. And there goes the Alpine up there, and there goes Dimply Hornet going way off the track in towards turn number 3. And Drastic Blaze still holding on to that top 10 position, but Dimply Hornet has the DRS. But it's a fruitless effort at this point. He's already sitting behind. So unfortunately there for him.
I've just seen Legend put in the chat how many warnings from Matt and Charlie. I have just looked. Matt Silver is on 1 warning, but Charlie, he's got a clean plate so far. He's on 0 warning, so he's keeping it clean, and he's got a lot of speed to go with that as well, and could still take this race victory if Matt Silver can't do the fuel saving in the final few laps.
I mean, they're closer than they ever have been over the course of this thing. Yellow flag in sector 2, and that's the Mercedes Golden Egg Fryer, who's been disqualified from the session for going the wrong way.
Well, that's something I didn't expect to see today, but yeah, we have got our first disqualification of the weekend.
Yep, so unfortunate there for both Mercedes cars who have failed to finish today. Here they come now, making their way through. So SLR Leo was way wide in the exit of turn number 4, and that could be SLR Charlie's opportunity to pounce going down towards turn 5. Will he go for it? No, he doesn't. Still stays in line, didn't have enough of a run to really go for it. He could have gone light on the brakes and tried it, but not enough. Leo lost a bit of traction there on the exit of the corner. regardless though, he still holds on to second place and still trying to chase Matt Silver in the race for the top spot. Of course,
We've got a very good fight in our hands for the final 3 laps of this race for the victory, and I cannot wait for it. Here we go.
SLR closing in big time on Matt there, who sort of slowed up a little bit going into turn number 10 or going through turn 9. Look at how close it is. 3/10 separating Matt Silver from Leia, 3/10 separating Leia from Charlie, who's going for it for a moment. Look, from the camera angle, look, he's trying to go around the outside, trying to take second place away. I doubt he'd need to. I doubt he needs to go on the outside. He can take the DRS here and try and go for him. He's lost a bit of time. He's lost a bit of momentum there as Leia tries to close in on Matt Silver. 3 more laps to go to settle this Portuguese Grand Prix. Matt Silver's got to save fuel and keep a rampant AlphaTauri and dominant Aston Martin behind him in order to pull this one off. Of course, the AlphaTauri has penalties to his name, so not much of a concern on that front, but only the AlphaTauri is keeping SLR Charlie at bay for the time being. You can't be too long for a reason.
Matt Silver's inputs. Go on.
Here they come back down towards turn 5. SLR Charlie still not doing enough to take second place away. It's not getting a good enough exit. Matt Silver goes a bit wider than Leia does. Yellow flag in sector 1, and that's one of the
Alpe.
That's Alpe who's gone around. And that might be him out of the points here. He needs to get himself going again. And that's him down to P11 now. He might get it back on penalties, but he's going to need to drive his heart out in order to actually get that. Because he's got penalties himself, so things aren't looking too good for him, unfortunately. We have got to keep our eye on this.
I've been watching Matt Silver's throttle and braking inputs for the past few laps, and he is doing very well with his fuel saving. Just keep flickering
lights
back
off
to the positive.
I mean, it's going back and forth now, so I think he's in a good position. But of course, he's doing a great job so far of keeping the AlphaTauri at bay, which in turn is keeping the Aston Martin alive. Back down the main straight, 2 more laps to go here. SLR could try and spoil the party for the Alfa Romeo and go for a move here, closing a lot more than he has on previous laps. Through that first corner, right behind the Alfa Romeo here, and this is what could be where things get tasty. Coming very close to the back of the red and white machine as they make their way up the hill through turn 4. Leia went a bit wide on the exit, and here comes Charlie now. Could take advantage once more. Leia has that DRS still, so things aren't looking good. As Timothy Horner gets hit with a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Matt Silver, I think, can we see how he's looking on warnings? He's still only on 1.
I'll have a double check as Gregors has just got past SLR Jack, I think that is, up to P6 now.
He has.
Still on 1 is Matt Silver, and Charlie is still on 0, so still a clean play for Charlie. So
flag.
We'll see.
Now he's retired in the pits.
He's in the pit. He's had enough, and it was on for such a good result.
I know, it's very unfortunate for things to fall apart, but he's still putting a commanding performance. Still definitely contender for driver of the day for me, but he might be able to contend with the current race leader, who stands just over a lap away from taking victory for Alfa Romeo here in Portugal. It's been a clean race for these guys up front, save for the contact between Simon and Matt earlier on in the race. And now the Alfa Romeo driver stands just 1 lap away from victory here in Portugal, but SLR could be looking to change that on the run down towards turn 1. He's closing in. Will he try and go for it? No, he won't. Stays in line. SLR Charlie right there looking to try and capitalise should anything go wrong. SLR drop back a little bit more. He'll be trying to take the race lead, try and win the race on track, but it does look like Matt Silver will be taking this one home by the looks of things. Gets such good exit off turn number 4. Charlie might try and go very late on the brakes, try and set up this one. No, he won't. Knows better than that. Stays in line. I dare say this race may end up being a little bit anticlimactic, so we've been waiting for this large battle to be going on. And they've stayed single file. They've not really found an opportunity to go for it. It's been a stalemate for the last 6 laps or so, and that's part of the reason why Matt Silver, whose fuel light flashing red here, as his Leia's has his choice. I think that's a regular thing. I'm keeping an eye on Simon, who's also trying to close it as well, though he won't have enough. He'll be finishing 4th in today's race. As Timothy Hornet spun out there in turn number 1. He's dropped back. Right, so things will be going the way of the Alfa Romeo of Matt Silver, provided he can get through these last 2 corners. Charlie looking at the inside, there's a bit of contact there. He loses all momentum, and that should just about settle it. Matt Silver rounds the final corner now to take home victory in the Portuguese Grand Prix for Alfa Romeo. Matt Silver wins. SLR Leia coming in 3rd, SLR Charlie in 2nd place, Simon in 4th, and it looks like Apta James E will be losing out to Gregors for that 5th spot. But great racing up front. great race all round, really. I mean, first time for me in Division 3, and I've really enjoyed this race. It's been very exciting. Active James over the line. Gregors will take that 5th spot away. SLR Jack will take 6th place. And Chicken Rosary, look at that last corner, finishing 8th. For the time being, Drastic Blaze slow up towards the line. He'll come home
Run out of fuel.
out of fuel there, but just not made to finish. SLR
Halo's going to be very close to Evo.
over the line.
And fair play to SLR Evo. He had an instant at the start, and he has took those hards 31 laps to the end, and he has still scored a championship point. So well done to him in the Williams.
Amazing stuff there. He's had a relatively quiet race apart from on the first lap, but he's managed to hold on to things. But a brilliant race all round. Simon 37M takes the in-game drive of the day. I'm soon after that gained the most places. A 4th place finish, the qualifying 11th, definitely not too bad in the slightest. So I think he can feel very pleased with the result today. But it is this man who should feel better, and that is Matt Silva in the Alfa Romeo, who takes home the victory here in the Portuguese Grand Prix in Portimao. What a race that was up front. Of course, holding off Charlie and Leah all the way from the end of that first stint, so the start of the second stint, to the end of the Grand Prix. Of course, we were a bit anticlimactic in the end. We were expecting a bit more of a fight, but of course the DRS train is incredibly effective here in Portimao. So it is Matt Silva who takes home the victory. And we'll have a look now at your final results, and I'm assuming we'll be going for post-race interviews.
Indeed we will, as you said, Matt Silva winning, and I definitely think he's going to be my driver of the day as well. I don't know about you, Zach.
I think I might have to agree there. I mean, RP's definitely up there, but of course things fell apart towards the late stage of the race, and of course he did retire at the end. Regardless, then your final results. So Matt Silva wins the race, SLR Charlie in 2nd place, Leah in 3rd, Simon finishes 4th, and I think we'll hold on to his championship lead just about. Gregors in 5th, SLR Jack in 6th, Active James C 7th, Chicken Rosary 8th, Drastic Blaze 9th, and SLR Evo rounds your top 10. Halo just about comes home in 11th, just about loses out on that final point. Skull Killer in 12th, Dimply Hornet 13th, Alpi in 14th, and then he was the first driver who failed to finish, as well as Golden Egg Fryer, SLR Jacka, Fatal Nation, Poor Dave Mercedes, and that guy in the Red Bull, who of course was the first retiree of the race. So there we go, then that is your Portuguese Grand Prix.
I don't want to do interviews then.
Do you want to take them?
Sure, can do. Let's go on then with...
We don't have a box to tick. I don't know if you can actually
yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm recording them on my computer as opposed to the Xbox, so... They'll be it's fine.
Let's go with third place man. 2nd on the road, SLR Leah. Unfortunately missed out on 2nd place due to penalties, but you did have some exceptional pace and was leading the race at one point, and was on for the race victory, but yeah, couldn't really keep penalties to a minimum, but still 3rd place at the end of the day and should be happy. Talk us through it.
Sorry, you cut out as you asked the question. Please, you said.
So I said P2 on track, but P3 after penalties. Was leading the race at one point, but finished 3rd in the end. You happy with that? And can you talk us through your race?
Yeah, happy with that. I didn't really expect to get points here or Imola last week, so yeah, the pace felt really good. And it was really good to be up there, with battling with Charlie. Good clean racing. It was just a good race, and yeah, just unfortunate with the penalties. Something I need to work on, but yeah, I'm happy. As
you should be. And next week, obviously, Spain next Saturday night. Are you looking forward to that? How do you feel around Spain?
Yeah, I think I had my first SLR win at Spain. I think. So yeah, hopefully a bit of practice. And yeah, same again, hopefully.
So congratulations on P3 once again. Let's go ahead to P2 then. That is SLR Charlie, the man who qualified on pole, but was only able to get P2 in the end. P3 on track, P2 after penalties. Talk us through your race. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I'm happy with that, to be fair. I didn't expect to win after qualifying, to be honest, because I was pretty committed to try and get through on the mediums. But as people kept going out and I saw my name quickly dropping, so I just thought I'd have to take the risk and go on the softs. But then, obviously Simon got knocked out but still had the pace to get back up, so I probably made the wrong decision in not maybe taking P11 and then going mediums instead. But yeah, the race was pretty simple, just stay behind. Leo obviously had penalties, but I saw Matt didn't have any penalties, so I had to try and get close to him. But with Leah in between, it was just a bit. There was literally no options to try and get past. So when Simon spun, which was a bit gutting, obviously, as he is my teammate. But yeah, I'm happy with P2 overall.
Indeed, you should be. And that's the same question to you as well. Spain next week. How are you feeling for that?
Not great. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not very good around Spain. I had some decent pace in qualifying last year, but them curbs aren't great. So I'll probably be expecting a spin or two.
So we'll see then. Congratulations on P2. Once again, let's go ahead to our race winner now. Matt Silver, I believe two-time race winner now in SLR. Won in Austria last season in Division 2. Now winning Portimao Division 3 in Season 8. Congratulations to yourself. And can you talk us through your race? Because that must have been very intense. Matt, here?
Can you hear me?
There we go. Now we can, yeah.
Oh, great. Now I can talk. So, well, my race was, if you thought it was a little bit exciting from my point of view, it was stressful because of something that you guys probably didn't catch in the commentary and in the broadcast. So let's start off with qualifying. Basically, get myself through to Q3, everything looking good, and in my final run, my few ran out just as I was gonna cross the line. I was gonna improve by 3/10, probably get myself into the front or second row, but missed out. So remember the few, because few was a key factor in this race. It was ridiculous. So the race started P7, not great, but into turn 1, you guys have seen it. All I had to do was to avoid the carnage that happened into that first corner, and then boom, up into P4. Then all it was just a DRS train up until the point that we had the second stints, and then everything started to go absolutely crazy. So I kept a great pace, was really focused, really head down, was making up positions, but Simon was looking like the guy to win the Grand Prix. He spun, and that, at the moment, I mean, he had a 5-second time penalty, so you might think, oh, you could have catched him up. But at the end of the race, got first place. I was thinking, that's it, it's good, it's my race now. And then I look at the MFD, and then I see my few going down and down and down. So I don't know if you've seen it, if you've noticed it.
We did.
I was going so slow at the end of the race, and well, it wasn't really my intention, but that kind of helped me because it didn't allow Charlie to close in. But the thing is, I was just lifting and coasting like it was Formula E through the corners. It was absolutely ridiculous. I thought at one point, with 5 laps to go, I was talking to Alpe on a part. I said, mate, I'm not gonna make it, no way. But then I have to lift so many corners, and lap after lap, and finally, just with 0.01% of fuel, I made it and won my second race. I'm so excited with that. Absolutely buzzing. Like, what a race that was.
Indeed, fantastic race from our point of view as well, and congratulations to yourself on P1 once again. I'm going to ask the same question to you. Spain next week, how are you feeling for it, and could you maybe make it another race victory?
Oh boy, I don't want to sound cocky, but I think that one might go my way again. Because honestly, I like Spain. I don't like the track, but I feel like I'm decent at it. So, well, you never know. We're gonna find out next week, I guess.
Indeed, we will. Make sure to join us for that next Saturday at Spain at 6 p.m. And I'm going to hand over to Zach now to finish the stream.
All right. Well, thank you you three for attending the post-race conference there, and well done to all three of you finishing on the podium. It was a very exciting Portuguese Grand Prix, and like Corey said, make sure to join us next week for the Spanish Grand Prix in Division 3, same time next week. And tomorrow night we'll have the McKean Division here in Portugal live for you on the Twitch channel, so make sure to stay tuned for that tomorrow. And with that, that'll be the end of the stream, so I do hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure to follow the SLR Twitch and go follow us on all our social media. You'll find it somewhere. And then, yeah, with that, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.